Hello, everyone. Welcome to another day, the 13th day. Some people say it's bad luck, but I'm under the impression this will be good luck. Today will be a fantastic stream. Today is the 13th day of 100 days of code with Leon Anderson. Leon, how are you doing?
I am excited because because to me it seems like I am definitely far from having mastered anything, but I do feel things coming together, and I'm starting to intuitively to get like to me it feels like I got like some got some basic vocabulary down, and I am kind of understanding basic grammar, like the basic syntax and the flow, especially the flow of how the program works, like how the code is executed inside of the program and or inside of the editor, or the document. You see there's still some vocabulary missing, of course, but to me, so today I learned basically more stuff on functions, stuff like one thing, for example, scope, which we already had before, but which was interesting to me that it came this late in the course, because when we talked about scope, it was outside of this course that I'm working through. So I was a bit surprised that like how can the others, like, must have been pretty hard to do some of the exercises without getting the context of what scope means, and the dynamics around that. And so that made me extra grateful for being, for having this this mentor on my side, having you as a mentor on my side. And today I learned a bit more about function as well. So lexical scope, I would say it's a bit like one could also call it nested scope. So when you have a function within a function within a function, then let me remember in which direction it goes. But I think the bigger function can access what's in the smaller function. Is that right?
What do you mean by bigger and smaller?
So the embracing function, the outer function.
Yeah, outer function is a correct term. And what was your claim?
You weren't really audible for a moment.
Oh, sorry, I was asking, what was the rule that you said with the outer and the inner function? What was your claim? And then I can, because I didn't understand the terminology before.
So it was called lexical scope, and as far as I remember it, it means that when you have a function within a function, so nested functions basically, and you define objects or variables inside of a function that's inside of a function, then the outer function can access the inner function's objects and variables, or maybe the other way around. I don't remember, or maybe both ways. But it's so it's just one way.
Yes, one has access to the other, but not the other way around. So which one of the two do you think it is? thoughts on all this stuff that we had over the past few days?
I'm pretty sure the outer one has access to the inner one because the inner one needs the keyword this, as far as I remember, to access.
So you're saying that if we have this inner variable here and this outer variable here, this function has access to this variable. Like if I would do console.log an inner variable and I would put the inner variable here, it would work.
Let me check for a sec. I would say that don't execute, please. Yet.
I'm not gonna put the inner variable in here.
You're quite hard to understand today.
Oh, sorry. I'm not gonna put the outer variable. I'm not gonna execute the code yet. Yeah. So I'm first waiting for your guess.
Yes. Okay, that's a hard guess. I would say. Wait, I don't fully understand the example you wrote but let me check it for a moment.
So let me also put the inner variable here, but I'm not gonna execute it yet. So we don't get to see the result yet. But what will happen if we try to access the inner variable here? Will it work? And then also vice versa, will this work? We put outer variable here and then put the outer variable here.
Okay. I was trying to understand why you did those inversed to each other, but yeah, okay. Okay, so I have to make it full screen to better see.
Should I make
I
it
would
bigger?
say,
Or is it
pardon?
big enough? Should I make it bigger or is it big enough?
Now that I have it on full screen, I just had it on small. So now that I have it full screen, I see it better. This should be enough. So I think what will get logged will be like why don't I get the flow holy? So auto variable. I'm a bit confused by all the outer inner, like where is what, but what are you adding now in a function empty?
And just adding the function code. So when we later call the outer functions, the outer function, that the inner function is also executed, right? Without that line that I just added, the inner function would not be executed.
They wouldn't be executed at the same time. You would have to.
No, it would not be executed at all. Only now the inner function will get executed.
Wouldn't you be able to execute the inner function separately at all?
Well, to understand that, we have to understand, we have to first answer this question, and then we can answer that question too.
Okay.
So let's first understand the question with the inner variable and the outer variable, and then we'll also answer the second question.
Is it on purpose that the first let outer variable says I'm an inner variable?
No, that is me being tired
Okay,
from a long day of work.
because I got confused as fuck.
Thank you. Thanks for calling these things out. As
No worries.
you might notice, I often do these mistakes.
No worries at all. So I would say that I don't know why this is so weird to me right now. I don't know. I have a complete. My brain doesn't work at the moment. Out of variable.
I feel you.
Um, so this is about what gets printed out at the end. If both get printed out, or just one of them, or no, you
Well,
already said it's just going to be one of them.
no, we will have 4 console logs, but I did not put, so technically I also have to put here the comma and the outer variable, right? Which I'm not doing right now because it would give you away a hint. And here, comma, inner variable. And the question is this possible and is this possible? Because then you know, because your claim was the outer function has access to the inner function's variables, right? So if you stick with your claim, then you would say that this will work, right? But this shouldn't work because that will not work according to your claim. But if the other way works, so if the inner function has access to the outer variable, then this should work and this should not work. So right now, based on the knowledge, you have to decide which of these two will work.
Okay, I would say. Oh damn! I would say inner variable gets printed, so that the lower one, the lowest.
The lower works and the upper one does not work. So you're saying if I put outer variable in here, it will not work, and if I put inner variable in here, it will work.
I have no idea. My mind is completely blanking out. I have zero clue. Like there's I don't know. I don't get anything at the moment. I would say I just stick to the claim, and then let's see.
Got it. No, the claim's wrong. So if we put the inner variable here, right, it immediately yells at us that inner variable is not defined because the inner variable is only defined here. It's only defined in this scope right here. Outside of that, it's not defined. Whereas the outer variable is defined here, and everything outside of the function, this function still has access to. So if we put the outer variable here, and as you can see, nothing is yelling at us.
Okay.
So what we can do now is we can say outer function. Now, what do we get? I have an outer variable. This is this one. So first of all, let's walk through what happens in the compiler when we do this, right? So first of all, this function is defined. Then we call this function. Then we go into this function, which basically defines the outer variable. Then we define the inner function.
Okay.
The inner function gets executed here. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I see that. We had that before, where we defined something above a scope, and we could access it from inside of the scope. And
exactly.
So now I see the pattern. I was like I didn't. You mean with like what the why you let space free and like after inner variable, I like this was visually completely new and so many words. I don't get. I was.
Yeah,
I have no idea why, but my mind completely blanked out. And
It's so different. But you describe, so basically lexical scope means that the outer variable is accessible within the outer function and the inner function because of lexical scoping. But the other way around, the inner variable is only accessible within the inner function.
Yes. Got it. Sorry for my brain lag. It was completely when you do these console.log quote unquote and then quotes dot in quotes, then comma, and then put in the variable. The way you did it now was kind of confusing. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on today. Sorry.
No, should we go over console log one time just to make it really clear what's happening? Because I've been using it throughout these sessions, but I know that you haven't learned it yet. Would you think it's helpful if we look at it once?
I know what it means. I know that in the quotes it's a string that gets printed out first, and then it's the element or the variable itself that gets printed out. And
yes, exactly.
And having these both next to each other to me is like I don't know why, but it looks confusing, but I don't know. Maybe my brain is just fried today.
That's fine.
We'll see. Maybe in the next thing we look at, maybe it works better. But I know that what this does, but I'm always confused. Outer variable. I'm an outer variable. I don't know.
Yeah, no worries. So should we move on back to topic?
Yes, please.
Let's go. So what did you do else?
Okay, so lexical scope. Then function expressions is basically when you turn a function into a variable, or so you assign a variable to a function so that you can then use a variable to express a function. Or is that higher order functions? No, higher order functions is basically using function expressions within a function. Is that right?
No, a higher order function. It's crazy that you learned this already, because it is a very advanced topic, I would say. But in general, a higher order function is any function that either takes in or returns or both another function. So if it does one or the other or both, then it's a higher order function.
So it can use functions as the input, right?
Exactly, but also it can also return a function. If it returns a function, it's still a higher order function.
Yes, that's what I meant, because function. Did I get it right? That function expression is when you say, for example, let variable, or let var. No, var is already let some word equal, and then you and then function brackets, and then you put in the function, and then you can use the word that you defined to express the function. Is that right?
It sounded like you meant the right thing. Yeah, I think so. I think it's right.
Okay. So and then what I meant with after that is that in higher order functions you can put in this function expression or a whole function as an input.
Yes, exactly. So just to clarify, like we can also have a function here, let's say add, right, that has num1 and num2, and then like let's just write it real quick. 1 plus 1 2, right? And we can have a higher order function. Let's just take let's just create a function called identity that takes in anything and just returns it, right? And identity can be called with either my expression, or identity can also be called with add. Right, so
Yeah.
you don't need to necessarily have a function expression for higher order function is the point. Like you can also put just a regular function into a higher order function, it still works.
Yes. I think because it came, the function expressions came first. We then used it afterwards more as used it directly as an example to put it function expression inside of a function. So that's why I remembered it this way. Yeah, and that was one point where I was like, oh damn, this can get really fun. So like kind of an universe of options opened up. I have no idea what the possibilities will be, but I know it will be many.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, now I'm kind of getting the direction where this is going to. So that was very exciting to see.
Yeah. Awesome.
Then returning functions. We look at returning functions, which is basically to write a function that can create other functions. So, for example, I could write a function of 2 inputs of min and max. And then inside this function, I put return, and then I enter a function that uses min and max after the return. So then it returns a completely different function that uses min and max. So I could say return function. I think the use case was something. Is it between or something? Is between? Yeah, exactly. Min and max. And then we had the function, and then what was inside? Yeah, exactly. That was number. And then we had inside of the function, we had what was inside? If number is smaller than max and bigger than min, return valid. And else, exactly. And so this way I can now, okay, what's the next step? It's to is between. Is the next step to say is between, and then you put in the min and max that you want for your function, and then it puts out a function that's exactly for that range. Is that true? Does it put out a function already? No?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So but it puts it out in the console, right?
Well, no, the stuff that it always goes into the console is only because you're working in the inspector of the browser. Right now, it does the usual thing that function do after the return keyword, which we talked about in the last session. It puts it basically to the left of it, right? So we can capture it and can say const is between 3 and 42, like this. Like we can capture it in a variable.
And now we have if we want to execute is between 3 and 42, we can put brackets afterwards after that and put in the number to check if it's valid or not, right? Now it should return valid. Yes.
Exactly, yeah, correct. Both.
Okay, I'm starting to understand. So cold never uses the result in brackets and then the result itself. Like this way of writing things is new to me, but I'm now starting to get why you use that, because then in the console you know what it's referring to.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then afterwards there was the what's defining methods? What was that? Defining methods. What was that? Defining methods. Yeah, we can basically collect functions inside of an object, and then we can access these functions by accessing the content of the object and then execute it this way. Did I read that right? And we can also, instead of saying, so in objects, instead of saying name of the function colon and then the function, we can directly say name of the function and then go directly to the brackets. Is it called brackets or parentheses?
That is a good question that a native English speaker needs to answer.
Okay.
I always use the most anonymously.
Okay. So object. Exactly. So instead of other yell colon and then you could write function before that as well. Exactly. There's a shorter way to just write yell and then the brackets directly.
Well, I used an arrow function. Did you even have those yet?
No, they're coming up soon.
Okay, good. Then let's keep it this festival.
Yes, and then you can use the so as far as I'm seeing it, it's called, what was the method called? Defining methods. You can basically use functions as if they were methods because they basically are methods. I think functions are methods, but not all methods are functions, right?
Exactly. It's called a method if it belongs to an entity. So basically, if it belongs to an object or later also a class, then it is a method. So as you said correctly, all methods are functions, but not all functions are methods.
Yes. No, wait. No, I think you said it the other way around. Can you repeat it?
All methods are functions, but not all functions are methods.
Okay. I thought it was the other way around. Can't you put... Okay. Okay, then there are probably
what was your question? Would interrupt you?
So then there are functions which can't be used as a method with a dot before.
Well, let's say our function that we created here, right? Add is not a method because it is not attached to any object. So basically, as soon as
Ah,
it's attached to an object like this, then it becomes a method. But also only in the context of calling it like that. Like we could even do this, add, and now my object dot add is a thing. Like we can do 2 and 3, and obviously
now it's a method.
this now it's a method, but only in this context. Only if we this, like if we use it like this, console.mode, add 2 and 3, then add 2 and 3, like this is not a method. Function, but this is a method.
Yes. Okay. So all functions can be methods, I guess, because you can always retrieve them from objects. But they are not always they not always are methods. But they can be. Could all functions be a method?
Yeah, then you could throw any function on an object just like we did it with the add function.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Interesting dynamics. Cool. So and yeah, this way we can basically create our own methods and short. Is it called shorthand? There was something that called shorthand, but I guess the shorthand thing was the thing above with the yell and other yell, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And then we looked at the keyword this, which can be used. I think we could use this in our very first example, maybe, or maybe not. Wait, no. This is when you have something inside of an object, or does it also work within nested functions?
So this is always pointing to something, but there are cases where it can point to something that is undefined, basically. So I have to be careful with my words here. But yeah,
Okay.
with function, as long as you use the function keyword and not arrow functions, this should always point to something meaningful.
Can we use this in our very first example with the inner and outer, where we looked at the lexical scope? Can we use
You
this?
want to do another example there with this?
Yeah, let's try if we can change some of the dynamics inside of that with this keyword. Is it? Do you still have the code up there somewhere, or?
I don't have it, but it's easy to write, so let's do it real quick. So we had our outer function like this, and then we had our let's do const outer variable equals to
Yes.
I am an outer variable. This time I got it right. And then we had our inner function. Inner variable equals to I'm an inner variable, then called the inner function here. So that's basically it. And now the question is, okay, how can we show this, right? So the thing is, in this and this case, so if we say console.load, and let's say order this and the outer variable, then we say console.load inner this and inner variable.
Does it work with a comma as well? We used it with the dot, or with the yes.
We're going to get to that. So the first thing I wanted to show you is that because you asked about this context, right? So let's do other function here, save this, and then go into here. As you can see, in both of these cases, this is
referring
pointing
To
the
window, yeah.
window. Yes, and that is because when we are talking about functions and not methods here, right? Because they're not attached to an object. So if we now say count my object, like this, and then we say we can give it a property like foo bar, and then we can say alter function is a function that says something like we can do console.log alter function is dot my property, and then we have this dot my proper. Sorry, this dot foo. I mean this dot foo. But let's see. Why is it cannot assign message as object has already been declared? Oh yeah, of course. Why other object? And in this, if we now also define a new function in here, and we say function inner function is, and then we say console load new function is dot foo. Now we call the inner function. So first we play the guessing game, right? So if I now execute my other object dot alter function, what do you expect to be logged out in the console?
If we execute that,
If I copy this code and put it here right after the comma so that this gets executed, what do you
got it.
expect to be called in the console?
Got it. Okay. I expect now I know. Okay, now I understand a bit more of the dynamic, I guess, with the console.log. Okay. My other object. It will say the outer object will say foo. Will say bar. Yeah, it will say bar.
Outer function will say bar, okay, and what will the inner function say?
If we would execute my other object, outer function, inner function.
Because we're calling the inner function in the outer function, as soon as we execute the outer function, the inner function will also be executed. Right, so
Okay.
I'm wondering what will this say in the console?
This will say undefined, I guess. Because it's probably not sure which foo to reference, because I don't know how many scopes it can look upwards, because it's now 2 scopes upwards. Like if we, yeah, but it's inside of the same object. Maybe this works too because it's in the same object, but I would say the next step above is the outer function, and in the outer function there's no reference to there is no foo. So I would say it says undefined or something. Or yeah.
Okay, so let's see what happens. We say my other object dot outer function, and we call it. We have outer function this dot foo bar, inner function this dot foo undefined.
Yeah.
And then my other object outer function undefined.
Which is that? My other object out of function. Undefined because we basically mix outer function and inner function, and when there's undefined inside of it, and so the whole output is undefined.
No, because any function that doesn't return anything by default returns undefined. So if we put, for example, return hello world here, then we get hello world.
Okay, because there was nothing in the function except for another function which was empty too.
Yes.
Okay. Ponzi function.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, so is that the case for lexic scope as well, that it can always just scope into one element above, or one block above, or is it multiple? Can it reference multiple outer functions?
So
outer
the function keyword functions have their own this, and since this has its own this and is not part of an object, that's why foo is undefined. And technically speaking, the function here that we define, if we define a function above this, let's do it like this. Let's say function outside function or something, and we say console.mode outside functions outside functions this, and say this here, and then we call outside function this one returning the window, because technically this is a function on the window object. So this function's this is pointing to the window. This right here is a function on the my other object. So this outer function's this points to the my other object, and this inner function technically is not a function of anything. So this function's this is nothing.
Yes.
As I said, is also the window.
Yes, I was not talking about the keyword this anymore. I was asking if the very first example that we had with outer function, inner functions, the lesson was that the lexical scope can refer to from the inner function to the outer function, but not the other way around. But I'm wondering how many layers of nested functions it can refer to. Can it look only outside once or multiple times?
Infinite.
That was inaudible.
Oh, sorry. Infinite. So
Infinite.
Yeah.
Okay. So if an element was defined before, or was defined before, a variable was defined before, then it can be accessed from any degree of nesting.
Yes, and we can even be. Did you? I don't know if you covered it. Let me quickly check the curriculum. I don't know if called covers hoisting. Have you gone through hoisting yet?
Hoisting?
Hoisting. HOISTING.
No.
Okay. I cannot quickly search the curriculum. Do you want to look for it? Because it's an important topic, and if he doesn't explain it, I'm going to explain it really quickly to you.
Let me check real quick. I can't see a searching function, so I try with hoisting. So with Control F, I can't find anything on the side for hoisting, but maybe there's a search function as well somewhere. Oh yeah. Search cross content hoisting. HOISTING.
Yes.
There's
And
no
if you
results.
take the ing away, if you just say hoist,
No results for hoist.
okay, sweet. Then let's look into hoisting. Basically, in JavaScript, when we write code, it executes stuff that all variables that are const or let only in the order that they are in the program, but every function keyword and every var, like we had var, let, and const, right? Every var and every function basically the JavaScript reads through the file once and puts all of them at the very top. So let me show you what that means. We can have a function, and we can call it
Similar
hoisting.
how is it similar how stuff gets into put into window?
No,
Okay.
I don't know what you. I'm not sure what you mean, but I don't think so.
So I think what Code said is that all methods or all methods, I guess, are saved within window because window is like a collection of all possible methods, and then it gets temporarily saved into window.
No, this is what I had, or what we looked at here, right? So the outside function is not part of any object, but that means it's basically part of the window. That is why this right here points to the window object.
It points to the window, but it's not inside of the window object. Right?
From a JavaScript perspective, that's basically the same. So it means that this function belongs to the window, and this function belongs to my own object, because this points to whatever it belongs to.
But my other object belongs to window, does it?
My other object belongs, let's see, window.my other object. Oh, I don't think it's defined console.log. Yeah, it's undefined. No, it doesn't belong to it.
Okay, then I understood something wrongly. Okay, sorry, I didn't want to
No, it's very good.
hoisting.
That's exactly what we want to do here. Like, get through all of the questions. So, okay, what is hoisting? Hoisting basically means that functions first are all functions and all variables defined with the var keyword get put to the top of the document and can be accessed from anywhere. So we can have a variable hoisted, like foo, right? And then even though hoisted is written below the hoisting demo function, we can say in here console.log hoisted, and if we call hoisting demo right here, then maybe I got this wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Wow, I thought var was hoisted, maybe var isn't hoisted. I need to look that up again, but I'm pretty sure functions are hoisted. So we can at least do this. We can say function defined after hoisting demo, and we return full here. And now we say defined after hoisting demo, and this works, even though this was defined below it. Because this is a function keyword, this gets hoisted and is available anywhere. I'm gonna look this up for tomorrow's session. I'm gonna not lie about var. I'm pretty confident that var is also hoisted, but apparently
Can you check if window.defined after hoisting demo exists? Like
sure.
if it's because maybe that's what I meant. I'm not sure.
No.
Okay. I don't know where I got that, but I thought that some stuff gets saved into the window object. I don't know. Okay. All right. Yeah, but that's great to know with the functions that they get saved to the beginning. Yeah.
Yes, and then one more thing that I want to show you already is if you have an inner arrow function, right? And we do the same stuff here. We say
We
this.
didn't have arrow functions yet.
Okay, I just wanted to prepare you already
Okay.
for it
Okay.
because if it's just a different syntax and he's got to explain a bunch of stuff about it. But one of the more important things is arrow functions do not get their own this. So if we call this inner arrow function, you remember this one was pointing to the window, right? With so many
Yeah.
console logs, let me get rid of some stuff here. Okay, so now we should only have the ones that matter. Okay, console was cleared. Okay, now we call this outside functions. This we should clear those too. Oh yeah, because we're no longer calling this. Okay, yeah. Now we got the example working correctly. So if you remember, this one was pointing to this, right? Because foo's defined, it says bar. This one's is pointing to the window, so window.foo is undefined. So it's undefined, but what is happening here? Inner arrow function, this.foo is bar. Because this is pointing to this object. And the reason for that is arrow functions do not get their own this. This one, when we define it, gets its own this. And because it's not part of any object, it gets the window as its this. But this one does not get its own this. So it takes the next best this, which is the my other object is.
Got it.
Cool will explain this in more depth, but I also want to prepare you for that already.
I didn't understand the last sentence.
And I wanted to prepare you for this, no pun intended already, even though Cole is probably going to explain it in his course.
Got it. Yeah, that's cool. That's an awesome feature of JavaScript. Is the next best this always the one that came right before, or is there a different way of?
Only if it's inside of an object. If the arrow function is defined outside, so we can also do this real quick. So we can say, let's comment this out again. So we have null nodes, and then we say const outside arrow function like this, and we say, let's just grab this real quick. Yes, and we say outside arrow function. Like this. And then we need to call it outside arrow function. This is now undefined because it only gets the next best this if it is inside of an object. If it's not inside of an object, then this for arrow functions is simply undefined.
And is it also if it's below an object?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do that real quick to prove it.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so many interesting dynamics. That's very cool to see them demonstrated. So
I can already tell you this is something that in the real world you will rarely, if ever, need. So this is
okay.
It's very complex, and it's something that when you encounter it, it will certainly cost you hours, especially if it's in the context of a bug. Because understanding, especially if you like mixed error functions and usual functions, understanding where this really comes from is very hard. But luckily, and nowadays you almost never need it or use it. So it's one of those things that's good to know. It's one of those things that is, because it's complicated, good that you have started through once thoroughly. But then, if you're really going to encounter it in the real world, you can solve it with Google and ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, yeah, I thought that this would be more important because I could imagine that you have have a situation where you need to point to something inside of the same object more often, but so far I basically had mostly useless use cases just to just to explain the dynamics. So I don't know what real world applications will be exactly. So that's
Exactly, and also like you can always in every function just do this. You can just say my other object dot true and my other object dot true, and then we comment this in just to show it and prove it. Right? So no need for this. I can just say what I want, and this is also if you read this code, it's a lot easier to understand because then you don't need to trace. Oh, what is this referring to right now?
okay. Yeah, that sounds way better. Okay, well, is there a use case where this is necessary or?
Yes, so we will get to that. So you will
Okay, okay.
soon learn about something called classes, and there are rare use cases where you need classes, and we will also talk about when that is because code is probably not going to teach you that. Um, but when you use classes, then you also very likely have use cases where you need this because you need classes to write very, very performant code in very few edge cases. And in those edge cases, you will likely need to reference this. But again, like I would guess that depending on what you want to do with your skills that you acquire here, you will never encounter this again.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay. Interesting though to see
Yes,
this.
yes, yes. And worth knowing that it exists.
Yes, yes, yeah. That's I appreciate knowing, like going through all of this and knowing, like, okay, this exists, that exists, and yeah, it's definitely helpful. Yeah. Okay. And then otherwise, um I looked at the try and catch. I don't know. Is it a method? No, it's a function, right? And I really like that concept of trying out code, and if it doesn't work, it gets displayed as an error, but it doesn't run and it doesn't stop the rest of the code. I like that thing. I don't know if, yeah, I think code said that this is used very often. Is that right?
Sorry, could you repeat the question real quick?
Cole said that the try and catch, um, is it a function or is it?
No, it's technically a statement. So
Okay.
statements are basically like some statements are try, catch, if, else. You also have switch later. All of these are statements.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. So the try catch statement, that Cole said this is going to be used very often. Is that true?
Yeah, you will encounter it reasonably often. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. 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 Yeah. I don't know, something about it. I like that it's a very it seemed like something useful. So I was like, oh, that sounds cool.
It is. It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is useful, definitely.
Okay, yeah. And then last thing that I looked at was the for each method, which is basically an old version of the for off loop.
You mean the array method for each?
Pardon?
You mean the array method for each?
Um, it's a method, yes, to go over each element of an array.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So basically, array dot for each, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, because we were calling it an array, it's a method, right?
Array or array?
I
That,
think either one is said. Some people say array, some people say array.
oh, okay, okay.
Depends on what the connotation.
I'm sorry. I was I was used to the term array. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's an array. Is it usable for objects as well, or?
No, not natively.
Okay, okay, okay.
I haven't like I don't know if I should give you the biggest mindfuck yet, but I'm just gonna say it. In JavaScript, everything is an object. So I'm answering it in the sense where how you're gonna learn objects and how technically everyone thinks about object, which I also do. But if you then lift up the hood, everything is an object in JavaScript.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I
Like
can,
even strings and numbers, it's really crazy.
I can imagine. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That sounds great. Like, yeah. Okay,
Do you
cool.
know the meme with the guy and the pistol and the arrow? That was always an
Yeah,
object. It always
always
has
been.
been.
Do you know where that is from? I don't really know what's the origin of that meme.
We can do a quick detail and learn it. Know your meme always has been. Uh, Wait, it's all Ohio, always has been. It's just an exploitable template in which two astronauts are in space. Origin on December 2016. Vegan 6 posted in our dank memes. And that is pain illustration of two astronauts looking at the Earth. On August 7, 2018, someone put another version. Let's see, and this is so on June 2020, Alex is grown. Apparently made a good version.
But why is he pointing a pistol? It's like to kind of give associations with like a final scene in a movie with some drama inside or what, or like
Yeah, exactly. When someone discovers something that they're not supposed to discover, and right as they
ah
discover it, the other person shoots them.
they're not supposed to discover it. I got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh no, I didn't supposed to discover that everything is an object in the in JavaScript. Now I will get hunted down. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. That was a lot of great stuff, and sorry for having like a brain for blacking out at the beginning. I don't know.
that
Yeah.
is, I think, the motto of today's stream. So cool. We're done here. Unless you have any more questions.
No, for today, I guess that's it, and I'm just really looking forward to tomorrow. Um, and maybe tomorrow even into getting the introduction into the world of the DOM.
That would be awesome. It's going to be a nice world. The React world, the DOM world.
Awesome. Okay. So DOM and React are something similar.
Well, that's not open that can of worms yet, but they're
Okay. Okay.
definitely related.
Okay. 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 Got it. Got it. Yeah. I have one screenshot of code that I just now discovered that I put on the site for today. Can I send it to you and you can put it onto the screen and have
Yes,
one look? Okay.
let's do it.
Did you get it?
Yes, I just have to open it.
Okay.
I'm just filling the void.
How come that's so long?
I'm enjoying myself way too much with defense. Such a cool feature. Let's see here. We need to, okay, we need to put it here. Can, will not take too long. Present, share screen, entire screen. Let's go.
Okay. It's. Did I cut it out so badly?
Yeah, better.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. So my question is, could we say cat.meow2?
Cat dot meow. And then the two.
Yeah, we have the const meow2 at the bottom, which which is defined as cat.meow. And the issue was that if we use meow without cat, it doesn't input the name of the element. It doesn't put in blue steel there, so it only prints out says meow. So I was wondering if you could reference. Oh yeah, if you could put cat.meow2, or if that creates a weird loop.
Let us do it like this. So I still did not completely understand the question. So
Okay.
you want to
So
put
the
it through here? Like
the
this?
issue was no. In a new line, to execute cat.meow2.
Cat.meow2. Like this?
Yes, and then I guess we have to use the brackets to execute it, right?
But cat does not have a meow2 property, right? It has name, color, read, meow.
Okay. Got it. Okay, but so the issue was that if we just execute meow2, it doesn't it doesn't use the whole. It doesn't use the cat.meow. It just executes meow on its own. Do you know what I mean?
No. Like meow2 is a variable, right? So if we say console.log, oh, you mean this?
Yes. And then it says exactly, and then it only says meow because it doesn't refer to it doesn't use the this.
Yeah, I mean, this is the window, and this dot name is undefined because the window does not have a name.
Yes. So if we would replace this with cat.name, would that work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering what would be the solution to that. Okay. Cool.
See? Then, yeah, all questions answered.
Yes.
If you are watching this and you've just made it through the longest stream yet that we had, thank you for watching. You can always ask questions. We stream daily, technically around about the same time, sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later, because this is Leon Anderson's journey. He has literally started 13 days ago. So if you are thinking about starting to code or you're already on your coding journey, just keep in mind, just do a little bit every day. It can be 5 minutes. It can be 3 hours, it can be 8 hours, but again, it can be 10 minutes. Just as long as you keep coding every day, as long as you keep stacking your skills, you keep compounding on your knowledge, you keep expanding on it, you will get there. You will be able to write programs and you will be able to either create your own idea and make your own ideas come true, or you will be able to help other people build stuff and will just get paid very well for it. And as you know, being a developer comes with its perks. You can, if you want to, work a remote lifestyle, maybe from a nice beach in Bali, maybe just from home watching your kids, or maybe you travel, or maybe you just enjoy normal home office. Whatever you want to do, coding will enable this to you. And it's one of the greatest superpowers in COVID times to be able to talk to computers. And JavaScript is one of the best languages to learn because it's a language that has a lot in common with other languages just because it's a multi-paradigm language. We will go into that a lot deeper in the future. But just know that JavaScript is highly sought after in the job market. JavaScript is literally everywhere. You can build anything with JavaScript. So it's a great first language to learn and could also be the only language that you ever learn because it's so powerful that you can do anything with it. So if you're thinking about coding and you want to get into it, or you're already into it, just keep doing it every day. Be inspired by Leon and his journey. Follow him as soon as he creates his socials one day. Keep tuning in here to learn. Keep posting your questions in the comments. It will help you too. And yeah, this has been the Code Call with
Leon Anderson, who was having a lot of fun, and my mentor,
Alice Mill from 10xDev. See you guys.
Bye-bye.